Max Verstappen was once again on top of the pile as he took his 4th win in a row and his 11th of the 2022 season to take an 89-point lead over Charles Leclerc in the drivers' standings. And more importantly for the supporters, find victory on the home sand of Zandvoort at the Dutch Grand Prix. In a frantic race full of twists and turns, Verstappen and Red Bull brought strategy and power together in the dunes of the seaside town. The 72 laps were filled with trials and tribulations on the pit wall on the notorious difficult track to overtake on. But it was the safety car on lap 56 that changed the complex of the race for Verstappen and the two Mercedes of George Russell and Lewis Hamilton. Valtteri Bottas was forced to retire on the home straight as his Alfa Romeo gave out, bringing out a flurry of action in the pit lane, with leader Verstappen coming in for fresh softs, along with third place George Russell. Lewis Hamilton, running in second at the time, jumped into the lead as he stayed out on his old mediums. It meant at the restart, Hamilton, as in Abu Dhabi last year, was a sitting duck as Verstappen burnt him going into the lead at turn 1 as the action got back underway on lap 61. Hamilton was pipped too by Russell and Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari, who both had the fresher, softer rubber than the British driver, leaving the 8-time world champion frustrated to say the least over the team radio with the Mercedes pit wall. The Silver Arrows had been looking good for a possible 1-2 midway through the afternoon, with both cars taking longer stints on the mediums to start the race and finding great pace in the hard tyre, as was everybody else, in a surprise to many. Mercedes' bullish one-stop strategy tried to force Verstappen to have to take the race win on the track rather than via the pit lane, and although that was ultimately what happened, the Dutch driver was slightly anxious, wondering if his home Grand Prix would fall into a rival's hands. "It was not a straightforward race," said Verstappen after victory. "We had to push the whole race. Of course, with the safety car and virtual safety car, making the right calls was always a bit of a question mark, but it worked out really well. Once we got back to the soft tyres, we had great pace again." So Verstappen stands atop the podium with Russell second and Leclerc third. Hamilton came home fourth with Sergio Perez fifth, Fernando Alonso and Lando Norris 6th and 7th, Carlos Sainz, Esteban Ocon and Lance Stroll wrapping up the top 10. Toto Wolff has backed the risk taken by Mercedes with Lewis Hamilton in Zandvoort, claiming the team would have been screwed if they hadn't taken the risk. A bold one-stop strategy appeared to have put Mercedes on course to secure an unlikely first win of the season, but a virtual safety car and then full safety car period allowed the Red Bull driver to pit for more favourable tyres. During the latter period, Mercedes left Hamilton on track while teammate George Russell requested to stop for soft rubber. He had a tyre that was 5 laps old from the medium. Holding position was the right thing to do, said Toto Wolff, explaining the decision to not pit Hamilton but bring in Russell. At the end, it didn't work out for him, but I would rather take the risk to win with Lewis rather than finish second and third. Asked if Mercedes could have done anything else to prevent Lewis's slide down the order, the Austrian team principal acknowledged the difficult situation Mercedes were in. "Lewis was ahead, so you always have a problem with the call, so it was worth taking the risk." There will be plenty more from Mercedes and Ferrari's continued foul-ups in the pit lane as well on GPFans.com this week as we build up, of course, to the Italian Grand Prix in one Sunday's time. And of course, get on to GPFans Global on Twitter, Instagram and TikTok as well.